Welcome back to With First Pick here in Indianapolis 2025 NFL Combine. Jonathan Jones, Pete Prisco, and Ryan Wilson. We're going to be joined very shortly by Andy Reid, so I'm excited about that. Pete, what's your second best memory of the Combine?
Second best memory of the Combine?
What do you think stuck out to you?
I'm trying to think. I gave you two good ones.
You did give me two good ones.
I gave you two good ones.
What about you, JJ? What are you looking forward to?
I am looking forward to speaking with the Kansas City Chiefs head coach.
There we go. Perfect.
Andy Reid.
Thank you, Coach Reid, for joining us.
Great to be here.
Live television, Kansas City Chiefs head coach.
Good. He has his combat boots on. I'm ready to go.
Yeah, he is ready for battle. So, let's get going because you have a lot to do here. I wanted to start with the offensive line and what the plan is. We know that Humphreys wants to come back, and he was injured, and down the stretch that was a concern when you had to move Joe Tooney out, who I thought did a fantastic job. But I would imagine that's job number one, or at least the top of the do list, to protect Patrick Mahomes, because Philadelphia got after it in that last game.
Yeah, so Brett's going through all that right now and juggling the free agency part of it, which we've got a good number of guys, and the draft part of it, and what's strong in the draft. As coaches, we're just getting back into it. So this is our first introduction with these players, and we're kind of focusing in on that. Full trust on Brett and how he's going to handle the offseason part of it. Yeah.
And you talk about the coaches getting back into it. How have you handled, processed, evaluated the last 2.5, 3 weeks?
Sure. Yeah, so you go through a mourning period there for a few days, and then all of a sudden you've got a load of free agents you got to look at, and these college kids. So you can't hang your head very long, and then you learn from it. So you come out of this thing and you say, listen, even during wins, I talk about to the guys, I talk about learning even during wins, what can we do better? Well, you do the same thing after losses. Problem with the Super Bowl is it's final. But it doesn't take away from having a great year, and you can't forget about that. So there's a foundation there that you've been able to maintain here for a number of years, and this is the players and coaches. They've done that. So let's not forget about that.
What did you learn?
Well, I can't go into specifics. We got to play better. I'll give you that. But I'm not. I make sure that we talk to the players and coaches about it, and I always start with myself on that. Make sure you look in the mirror, but. I try to keep that in-house and not out publicly.
Andy, I always ask you this, but we're both getting up in the years. Do you think about retirement at all? Or if not, do you eye Don Shula's win total? Do you have your eye on that at all?
Yeah, Pete, I'm not big on all the record stuff. Matter of fact, if you asked me how many wins I had right now, I couldn't tell you. I mean, or that I've been involved with these two teams. So I don't know all of that. I don't care about all that. I'm in this to teach young guys and try to. I love the game, but I love teaching. So I'm in it to do that and trying to help them become even better at what they have a chance to do on the football field, but also off the field. And so that's kind of where all my energy goes. The records and all that. And then. You know, my mom and dad said this one. I said, "Why did you retire?" When they got to around that 65 age, and they said, "You'll just know. You know, you'll know when the time is." And I go, "Oh, okay. So I know it's not now. So that's not today. And when it is, I'm gonna call you, and then we'll walk out together."
There you go.
I got some years left in me. I think.
You're looking good. Man.
Well, one guy who could be considering retirement, your tight end, Travis Kelce. Have you imparted that wisdom, that sort of advice to him as he considers his future?
Yeah, so with the players, I told, and coaches, I told them, write down your thoughts, your immediate thoughts, and then put them in a box for a few weeks here and step back while you have a calm mind, and then we'll talk about all that stuff. So with Trav, get out of town, relax, take a deep breath, and there's time for all that. You know, whatever direction he wants to go there, we'll be okay.
You talk about coaching up the young players. You really enjoy that. Xavier Worthy was somewhat of a surprise pick because you traded up with the Bills, and I would imagine the expectation was for him to play as much as he did early on because of some of the injuries. What kind of growth did you see in him over the course of the season, and did you sort of trust him more because it felt like you did as we got down the stretch?
No, you've read that completely spot on there. So, and some of it, listen, you experiment in practice, but you don't want to stage it until it's perfect. I mean, that's until it's right there. And so, and it takes time. It takes time to get on to game speed, and trust, and all those things that go on with completing a pass.
Right.
And then being able to do the whole repertoire of things. I wasn't sure coming out. I mean, we hadn't seen that, but as we started going on, I'm going, this guy, he loves doing every route, and he's willing to go across the middle, 100 miles an hour. He's feeling himself in space on the intermediate routes, which is great, and then the long ball. And so we were kind of able to get all of that going, and that was one of the neat things about the season. If you took a positive out of the season, other than all the wins, it was to watch his growth, and it was a little bit like Rasheed's the year before.
Yeah.
And then you have a chance to get Rasheed back, and you add those two and whatever else Brett does there, and you've got kind of a nice duo for sure that you can be productive with.
Is there anything that you? I'm sorry, Pete.
Go ahead.
Is there anything? I know it was the finality of the Super Bowl and not the way that you all wanted, but you mentioned how many wins and all the fantastic accolades you guys got in the regular season and into the postseason. Is there anything different that you want to see from Patrick this offseason and the sort of fuel that certainly a self-motivator like himself is going to use from this game?
Yeah, I would say yes, but I'd tell you that about everybody, including myself. But yes, there's always going to be things as a coach. Your job as a coach and as a teacher is to try to find one more thing to make him even greater than they already are. And in his case, he's arguably the greatest in the game. And so what can we do to help him even become better than what he is? And that's, that's what we'll continue to do throughout the offseason and through training camp.
Andy, it almost got to the point where I don't know if you guys felt this, but Chiefs fatigue is out there around the league. As a coach, do you use that as a rallying cry of sorts and say, look, it's us against them. People don't like us. We've been around this a long time.
Sure.
We've won titles. Do you use that as motivation?
Yeah, well, I don't have to because you guys all say it, and so the guys hear it. My thing with it is when you're good, and you're good consistently over a number of years, you're going to have about 50% of the people that like you and about 50% of them that can't stand you. That's just that's human nature. And because you've beat their favorite teams, beat them up. So now it's anyways, I don't use all that, but I know it's out there and I know why it's out there. I get it. But our job is to forget about all that and to try to get better at what we're doing, and that's a full-time job. So, and I'm talking about being able to drive block, pass block, cover people, throw the ball better, or to, route running, all that stuff. That's our job, and that's a player's job, is to get better at their individual positions. And if you keep that focus, keep it simple. I'm probably talking like an offensive lineman, but if you can keep it that simple, then you're going to be okay and not worry about all the other garbage.
Coach Andy Reid, thank you for your time. And I think I can confirm neither Andy nor Peter retiring anytime soon.
Nope.